All right, UFC 294 just continues to improve. It gets even better as we know Volkanovski's in the main event. Kamaru Usman's fighting Khamzat Chimaev in the co-main event. And now the stakes are even higher because the winner between Khamzat Chimaev and the Nigerian Nightmare, they get to challenge Sean Strickland for the undisputed middleweight championship of the world. It is an official #1 contender matchup, and that's going to make this fight even better because, come on, for Chimaev, he wants to be a champ. He wants to get a shot at Sean Strickland. He's trained with him, probably feels like he can beat him. And for Kamaru Usman, he's already beaten Sean Strickland way back in 2017. It was a clean sweep on all the scorecards, and in some people's mind, 30-26. There was even some 30-25 scores. But still, we're going to get to that in a little bit. First of all, here was the news from Dana White yesterday. Here's what he said. Dana White confirms that Kamaru Usman versus Khamzat Chimaev winner will fight Sean Strickland for the belt. He went on to say earlier tonight, promotional boss White confirmed that a scheduled middleweight fight between Chimaev and one-time title challenger Paulo Costa has fallen by the wayside. We know this. As a result, the organization has booked. We know this. Where is it? Here it is. Speaking with Kevin Iole, respected journalist, the above-mentioned UFC leader Dana White confirmed how the victor between Usman and Chimaev will fight incumbent middleweight champion Sean Strickland for the division's belt. He also went on to talk about the matchup a little bit. He said, where is it here? He says, who knows how they'll approach the fight, Khamzat and Usman. But you have to think that with the Paulo Costa fight, Khamzat probably had to be thinking about going out there and taking him down. But with Usman and his wrestling, it could actually turn into more of a stand-up war. And that makes this fight even better as well because he's got a fantastic point there. And he went on to say, this is what fighting should be. White said, I don't know if you saw what Khabib Nurmagomedov saw. He said, brother, we are UFC champions. You'll fight King Kong if he makes weight. This is #1 bullshit. Can't do it, Khabib. Apologies. That's what makes fighting so fun. They're all taking these fights just over a week out, and they're all accepting risks. They believe in themselves, and to my way of thinking, this is what makes the sport so great. And he went on. But yeah, he's right. This is what makes the sport so great. Seeing these people daring to be great, daring to be champions, risking it all, flying to the other side of the world for our entertainment. And of course, they want to get paid as well and be legends and champions and all the rest of it. But still, as fans, which now I am. I'm one of you guys. I'm a commentator. I'm a former champion. I'm a Hall of Famer. But I'm a fan, first and foremost, and I am very, very excited for this fight card. Now, the big story is, of course, they're going to fight for the middleweight championship if they win against Sean Strickland. Now, that might raise an eyebrow or two because there is certainly a lot of worthy contenders out there. So if we take a look at the rankings here, we can see Sean Strickland, the champion, just had that great win over Israel Adesanya, 4-1. There it is at #2, Dricus du Plessis. You got to think that he's the one right now that's really pissed off to hear this news because after the way he beat Robert Whittaker and the win streak that he was on and the way that he finished most people, then yeah, I understand that. He should be fighting for the belt. Outside of that, there's Robert Whittaker. He just got beat. Jared Cannonier. He's kind of got a claim because he has beaten Strickland before. Marvin Vettori lost to Strickland. Paulo Costa is out with the staph infection and the surgery. So, as I say, out of all of those people there, the only one that can really have a gripe is Dricus du Plessis. But as we know, the sport is always moving on. Listen, I feel for Dricus here. All he's got to do is maybe sit tight, fight the winner, maybe have one more fight in the meantime, but that is also a risk. Regardless, the fight has moved on, and you got to think that part of the reason why this has come together, and I don't know, I'm just assuming, is that to speak to Chimaev and to speak to Usman and say, listen, I want you guys to take this fight on short notice. Clearly a dangerous fight for both men. Chimaev is right there and shot close to a title fight. Usman lost his last two. Right? For him to take this risk, they've said, listen, if you win, if you beat your guy, your opponent, I'm going to reward you with a middleweight title fight, as well as a big, fat, juicy check. Let's be honest, they're getting paid for this one. And that's going to excite the pair of them because Chimaev is a fantastic wrestler. Sean Strickland hasn't fought a good wrestler, right? A real strong stylistic wrestler since the last time that he fought Kamaru Usman. And if we take a look at the scorecards when he last fought Kamaru Usman, and I hate to bring this up, but this is just the fact we can see here, it was a clean sweep, right? 10-9, 10-9, 10-9 for Sal D'Amato, 10-9, 10-8, 10-9 for Jeff Mullen and Dave Tirelli, 10-8, 10-9, 10-9. Now, if we go down here and we look on the left, fight over here, right? There's some mad scoring here. 30-25, 30-25, 30-25. But if you look there, this is from WrestlingObserver.com. So I feel like they kind of prefer the wrestling kind of things. As we know now, if you get taken down in a mixed martial arts bout, if you don't do anything with the takedown, it's merely a change of position. So there is the situation right now. Khamzat Chimaev versus Kamaru Usman. They're going to fight. The winner will fight Sean Strickland. And as I said, just to look at Sean Strickland's record, he hasn't really fought as a wrestler of that caliber since he fought Kamaru Usman. Now, granted, just want to say, that was a long time ago. 2017, I was the middleweight champion of the world. I've been retired for a long time now. Sean has been training at Extreme Couture with some of the best people in the world, and he has improved leaps and bounds. I've always said he was a very, very good jiu-jitsu player, and I'm sure the grappling has got better as well. In fact, I was talking to Anthony Smith, and he said that he can wrestle very well. We had some guests on the Believe You Me podcast. They all said that they saw him grappling with Magomed Ankalaev, and he was more than holding his own. So things do change. But if we look at what the history books have shown us so far, and we look at the opponents, Israel Adesanya, kickboxer, Abus Magomedov, you know, he can wrestle a bit. Nasruddin Imavov, again, good fighters, good grapplers, but not like hardcore Chimaev, Usman style wrestlers. Jared Cannonier and Pereira, strikers, Jacko Manson, striker, Uriah Hall, Jotko, Brendan Allen. Brendan Allen's a good all-round mixed martial artist, but he's not a powerhouse wrestler. Jack Marshman, striker, Nordin Taleb. He's a great fighter, but again, you know, not one of those kind of strikers. There's Eliseo Zaleski dos Santos caught him with that spinning wheel kick. But as we go back, there's the one there, Kamaru Usman, 2017. So either one of these men could present a very tough stylistic matchup for Sean Strickland. So as I say, that's another reason why they've accepted this. Khamzat Chimaev, undefeated, destroying everybody other than Gilbert Burns. And Kamaru Usman, right, he's maybe lost a bit of respect recently. As we know, he lost to Leon Edwards twice. Well, what's better, right? He's probably looking at Sean Strickland as the middleweight champion and licking his chops and thinking, I can beat this guy. Much like George St. Pierre did to me. Now, he hadn't beaten me in the past, but I had trained with George St. Pierre extensively a long time ago. And yeah, I'd improved as well. And I was injured in that fight, let's be honest. And I had one eye, but save your excuses, Bisping. When we trained a long time ago, he would out-wrestle me. So I think he probably thought, I'm going to come back, beat Bisping, and become the middleweight champ. And that's probably what Kamaru's thinking. He's thinking, fuck the welterweight division. I'm going to move up, look like a legend, look like a badass, become a champion, and then retire a two-weight division champion when he's almost 40 and get back to those big, juicy pay-per-view points and those big, fat multi-million dollar checks. Anyway, what do we think of this situation? What do we think about them two fighting for the middleweight championship? I do feel for Dricus du Plessis, but also as a fan, I'm very excited to see this one. But yeah, let me know what you think of this in the comment section. I just rewatched Volkanovski versus Islam, the first fight. I watched it, I scored it, I did some play-by-plays on what both fighters need to do to improve in this rematch. I'll be honest, I'm throwing it out there. I scored it 3-2 for Volkanovski. 2-2 going into round 5. And then in the final round, as we know, Volkanovski dropped him and finished the round. And Ingard raining down blows. 3-2, close fight. But still, I'm going to break it down. We're going to talk about it, and I'll show you what either fighter can do to ensure that they win that one. But still, Chimaev versus Usman. The winner is fighting for the belt. What do you think about that? Subscribe, ring the bell if you haven't done so by now. And thank you all for supporting the channel. Almost 600,000 subscribers. Thank you. I don't take it lightly. I don't take it for granted. I am very much appreciative. So there it is. I'm done. I got to stop talking. I'm starting to slur my words.